So we've talked a lot about cost and done some examples with that. Let's move on and talk about revenue now. The goal of every business is to make money, obviously. And the money businesses bring in from sales is called revenue. But how do we calculate revenue? Well, let's look at just a general side example to see how easy this actually is. Let's say you sell 10 pizzas at $5 each. How much revenue do you gain? Hopefully you were able to quickly calculate $50. It's an easy calculation. You take 10 times 5. Putting that into a more general formula, revenue is equal to price times quantity. This is leading up to profit. The goal of every business is to make money, but essentially profit. Profit is the leftover money after paying their costs. So a company can only make a profit if the revenue received exceeds the cost of producing and selling goods and services. So it's the leftover stuff. After we receive the money, we pay out the costs, and the leftover is called profit. So there's our business formula for profit. Profit is equal to revenue minus costs. This leads us to a term called break-even. Companies use this break-even analysis to analyze the revenue and costs of sales and to determine the amount that revenues can fall while still making a profit. So it's kind of developing a baseline. This break-even happens when the revenue we bring in as a business just equals the costs that we pay out. So our formula for break-even is when revenue equals costs. Another way to look at this is when my profit equals 0. So you could use either formula. We've talked about a lot of business formulas in this section, so here's a slide summarizing all of those. Let's complete this example and use a lot of those business formulas we've been talking about. Part A, we're asked to find the revenue function. We know that revenue is equal to price times quantity. So let's find the two components in this problem that are equal to the price and the quantity. So it says management plans to charge $24 per unit for the feed. So the price is 24 per unit. X stands for the number of units sold. So my revenue function is simply 24 times X. Part B asks how many units must be sold for the firm to break even. We know that the break-even point occurs when revenue is equal to cost. So I'll set my revenue function equal to my cost function and solve for X. My revenue function was the 24X, and my cost function is given in the problem, 20X plus 100. Let's solve for the X value that makes this true. So we find a mathematical solution of X equal 25. So that says the company will break even when they sell 25 units. So if we sell more than 25, we'll make a profit. If we sell fewer than 25, we lose money. Part C, what is the profit if 100 units of feed are sold? We know that profit is equal to revenue minus cost. So I'll need to build a profit function, which is equal to my revenue function minus my cost function. Since my cost function has two terms, make sure to put up parentheses so that we don't misplace the minus sign. Let's go ahead and simplify this. So distribute that minus sign to both terms in the parentheses. And this gives us a profit function of 4x minus 100. We are asked to find the profit from selling 100 units. So let's plug 100 into this, right? That's my input, and then I want to look at what is my output. And it looks like we'll make a profit of $300 from the sale of 100 units of feed. In part D, it asks how many units must be sold to produce a profit of $900. So we're asked to find how many units. Remember, X stands for the number of units, so we will be solving for an X value. So essentially, what is the X value that makes this equation true? Right? When will my profit equal 900? Let's solve for X. We will need to sell 250 units to achieve a profit of $900.